Hello and welcome back here on my English YouTube channel about my Lego City project called Brickworld. And today, once again, we are going back to our big cinema project. We want to start again working inside of that big room here. We want to work on the side area here, building an emergency exit and talking about how we want to light up everything inside that big room. So stay tuned for today's update. At the beginning of today's update, I want to show you and I want to talk about the first of two emergency exits for the big cinema room. We have that here. We have two different colors of frames, a black one and a white one. And as you can see here, it's exactly on the same height in the same row where the people in the wheelchairs are able to get out of here. So I think it's a very important task because I have to go down that ramp here and I have to be sure that everything is able to do for people, disabled people, of course. Another emergency exit is going to be placed higher up, but that's something for a future update. I also can see that I started thinking about how I can build up the outer structure, the outer facade of that building on that side. As you might know from last time, I want to integrate a second entrance to the cinema here. As you can see also here, I'm using the system of light my bricks as always, and I'm using these connectors to make it possible to have the electricity running from one module to the next module without the need of putting cables together. And after all, we have an area of 6 48 by 48 plates, base plates, of course, for that big cinema project. Another stuff I added here is I want to light up some of these posters. As you might know, I designed these posters a long time ago and I printed them on glasses. So I'm able to put light behind them. But you can see I have a little problem here because you can really see it's a little bit more a problem inside the camera. In real life, it's not so visible, but you can really see these little spots of the LEDs, and that's not very nice. So I have to think about how I can change that. Maybe I have to diffuse the light a little bit. I'm going to check it out. Maybe I'm using just that paper here or something else. And yeah, it's not so easy. Maybe I need something else. That's something for a future update, but I just wanted to show you everything. Also, I have added that emergency exit sign here with a light behind it. It's also a printed brick. As you can see, it's a little bit complicated to have it on a good side here in the camera. In real life, you can really see it better. That's often a problem with light stuff, that you're not able to get it in a good view on the camera. And the next part is also a light part because I'm thinking and testing out how I can light up inside our big cinema room here. So I've thought about indirect lighting and it's not the best. I think it's not looking good. It's also not enough light, and I think that's just one test, but I'm going to change that in a future update. As you can see, it's also the system, of course, from Light My Bricks. I just added a strip light here, and I can also change the intensity of the light a little bit. But at the end, I don't think that's going to be the final system I'm going to use to light up that big Cinema 1 room. I'm going to change it to another light system, and not light system, another light structure, other lamps. But you can see how everything comes together. That big room here, mainly in red and of course black. And we have some new minifigures, as you might know from previous updates. You are able to send your minifigures, your sig figs, stuff like that to me here over in Germany. You can find the address in the imprint. And I have two new minifigures from somebody here over here in Germany. And we also got another fan post package. It's a nice picture here, a nice painted picture. And I'm really glad to get fan post like that. And we have, of course, new minifigures here. And you might not be able to read that because it's German. But we have new minifigures from Stefan, Finn, and Yuri. So we have 5 new minifigures from the community. And as always, I'm going to put everybody into the big cinema room. That's my community project at the moment. So everybody who wants to be a part of Brickworld can send in minifigures in city or of course also in fantasy style. And here we have the new 5 minifigures, counting up to 1,312 minifigures inside my city. An insane big number, growing and growing with every update. But I really think it's a nice addition to have all these minifigures from the people looking or watching the channel. So if you want to be a part, just send in your minifigures. By the way, I added a new light idea I have here. I think it's much better. It's better than the last stuff with the indirect light. And I think that's going to be the light I'm going to use inside the big Cinema 1 room. I also added these little red parts here to have a little bit more, just not only have a black wall here. That's going up later on in future updates, running up to the end of the room. And I think that's a very good update today to have some ideas. I have found out how everything should look at the end. So we have the exact idea with the emergency exits and everything like that. So I just added a lot more stuff here, build it up the next wall part here. And I think that's exactly the right way to get the view of that building I want to have. And yeah, I think it's a good update to have some special parts done. Also, you can see the lighting system gets a little bit bigger here with a lot of small parts here from Light My Bricks. And I'm still able to change the intensity of the light, and I just saw that the left one is not on that little wheel to change it, but that's something I can change very, very fast, of course. And that's it for today's update. We got a lot of small steps done here inside the cinema project. Very important little steps to build up everything, to scale it up in the next updates. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that everything comes together how I had it in my mind a long time ago. And also you can see I removed these parts here from the windows, from the outside facade. I'm going to add another kind of facade, of course. I'm not sure right now at the moment, but that's something for future update, of course. But we are on the right way. We are on the right way. There's going to be the back entrance here to the cinema. There's going to be the street outside here. And I think at the end, everything will connect very nicely, especially here with that emergency exit where the people can just go down and directly outside to the back entrance. And of course, there's a lot of stuff left to do here in the cinema, but as I said before, it's a very important part. Some little steps in today's update, having more bigger steps upcoming soon in future updates here in the cinema. And as always, feel free to write whatever you have in your mind in the comment area. I really read everything. I really try to answer everything. So stay tuned for future updates here from Brick World. And as always, thank you very much. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more of it. Bye.